Ladies and gentlemen, it's another Gauntlet Stage C qualification set, and this time around we are going to be taking a look at Art of Turtle, our Japanese Violet Zerg in the top right, and we've got Doglived down here in the bottom left.
Indeed. Pronogo. Shift tab wins. Pronogo.
What do you mean? You can do it right now and they become yellow.
Yeah, and then make them both red.
Oh yeah, it's for me it's yellow, so I guess we can combine each other's screens into yellow and red. Doglived is in the bottom left as our... let me think about the colors that we have here that this could be... I'll say platinum purple. Oh, it's dark lavender. Okay, gotcha. I forgot about that color. I was really forgetting the lavender. It's funny, because lavender is like my favorite color, so you'd think I would remember it, but I was really blanking. There. We've got a gateway for Doglived, and we've got AOT up here in the top right as... just hanging out with his Kagrant, going for that fast Larvosk, and we are on Brainstorm to start off this. Yes, indeed, he wants that pool immediately.
I'm thinking, does he want an expansion right away as well? Because even if you get the pool, you want another Larvosk with pretty fast follow-up, but if he's cutting gas, I'm wondering, is he just going to go to the Hatrosk immediately at the natural? We are on Brainstorm. It certainly is a map, one of the maps of all time.
Oh, I don't think you saw today's cast as of the day of recording, but it's the one that... It was I Am the Weed of God versus Jujic from the last Gauntlet stage. And it's worth pointing out that I think I've gotten some good names for single points on the map. So you got like the choke point here. I can't ping in a replay, but the choke point outside the natural, I think we can call those the brain drains, right? Yeah. And then
they pretty dumb.
Well, you look at the area where the treasuries are. I'm thinking treasury. Okay, those are going to be the brain trusts. So
okay. We do need map callouts in Brood War. I like the idea of having map callouts.
So you're on my side then, because I was like, yeah dude, we need that. Counter-Strike has that. We got to add that to Cosmo. So that's basically my thinking.
Yeah. I remember in Eclipse, I had a couple. There was like, Death Alley in the area between like the high ground and the sides. I can't remember any others now, but I had a couple in Brood War.
Okay.
A lot of Zefs being made, by the way.
Yeah,
there's a Hierophant out. Yeah, the Hierophant can't be caught easily, but it also can't really fight these Zefs, so bit of a stalemate. It is a Rogues Gallery coming up, by the way, so I expect we'll see a Cabalist come out. So put some pressure on. And we did not get an expansion. I was wrong. He did just go back on gas. But I mean, I'm sort of looking at his bank, and I'm like, tut, if you had mine gas the whole time, you would be making a lot of.
He's going to hatch in the main. Okay, so yeah, he's playing this Brood War style, I guess. AOT obviously a North American Brood War vet. He's been around for way long.
Ooh, Doglived needs to be careful here. He can't fight this. Needs that second zealot. Can't get surrounded. Okay, does duck out. Very nice.
AOT gonna cancel
sufficiently.
It. Yeah. I feel like AOT could have tried to go after the Hierophant and continue to put some pressure on Doglived's micro. He might have even forced the Cabalist to be used defensively if the Zets were running around, and that would have given him a little bit of time to react. As of right now,
at least scout, right?
He didn't even scout the Rogue Gallery, so he has no prep for that. The Grand Library is the follow-up. So I guess Dogliv's going to go on one base for a bunch of different tech here, is doubling down. I want to point out, Rogue Gallery is kind of maligned as a structure in Cosmo right now. Protoss kind of think it's not very useful, so interesting to see Doglived going for it.
Well, we'll see how it goes, but here is the problem, right? You make a Cabalist, and that's fine. But then Zerg will make an Overlord within 30 seconds, or Overlord, I should say. And then what? What are you doing with this building? You can try Charlatans, but, I'm yet to see them be that good. I'm open to people being proven wrong. One thing I do like about this very much, though, is you have a tier 2 structure right away. But that's why I don't really like the Grand Library so much. I'd rather he rush. But here we go, an attack coming in. That's a lot of Zealots, man. I don't think he can really do this. Although taking out the Hierophant would be nice.
Yeah, he's trying to wrap around it. He's chewing on the Zealots instead. So, okay, the first couple kills are coming in for the Cabalist in the mineral line. Meanwhile,
oh my god, he's not even looking!
No, a second one was already dispatched as well. It's going to come through that little choke point. But many more kills. He's up to 4 kills right now, while the Zets are going to get cleaned up back at home.
Drilling actually increases his DPS because he just cloaks again. He's going to lose it, but there's another one. I mean, losing it is not good, but I mean, he's going to continue to do damage. And he just won the fight handily. I mean, he traded some units, but given that he's killing workers simultaneously, disaster for AOT right here. No overlap on the way, by the way, so this isn't going to stop anytime soon. Although, I got to say, Doglived not making the most of it. He's taking a lot of damage when he doesn't need to. Okay, here we go. Now he's doing it. That one goes down. When will it stop? So much money in the bank for Doglived, though. He's only making a single Atreus, but I mean, does it matter? Does he need to make anything other than this one Cabalist? Oh, he's going to lose it, unfortunately. I guess he saw his bank and realized where his priorities should lie. But yeah, he's got the Herald out, which is huge. The Zealots just show up to finish the job.
Oh, man. Yeah, this feels like it's already over. Dog loses a lot of money in the bank. He can go for that expansion if he wants
he's
to.
He's going to kill like all these workers. GG.
GG without even leaving with most of his tier 2 unit tech there. Very unfortunate for AOT. But would you look at that?
I love it from Doglived because AOT is a very aggressive player. More than most Zerg. Most Zerg would not go for such an early sort of Vorv attack, but he really just punished him with the next snap from the Rogues Gallery here.
Impressive stuff for sure. I think we need a couple more brawls between these two players, but what is Turtle's response to that going to be? Because it feels like the better of him was got from a player who, he was going for a cheeky strat. I don't think either of these two players have practiced too much lately. So interesting to see where the action comes from now. Let's see what happens in game 2. It's a violet and lavender world here in map number 2, Kingwa Valley.
Why would they do this to us?
Yeah, Doglived also preferring dark lavender, Art of Turtle preferring the Japanese violet. Weebs out. But yeah, we are looking at map number 2 between these two. AOT dropping his Brainstorm map pick. But I respect that he picked it. It's so beautiful. It's such a great map. The pick ban is now on your screen, as we sometimes have to do that in after our long and illustrious conversations and introductions about the players. We frequently do enjoy saying, hey, what about all of this other stuff that's happened while we were talking? And then we can't get to the map pick. So Kingwa Valley, picked by Doglived. We banned Mass Destruction and Check Stealer. After that, it was Serenity and Radium got rid of, leaving us with Blackwater as game 3, and Near Impact and Decapitation being the other maps if we need them. And I feel like we are going to, like AOT and Doglived are pretty even in terms of skill. I think AOT is probably markedly better in many respects. Once he gets really, like if this was like they both practice up to their level, it does feel like AOT should have an edge, maybe like 60-40 or 70-30 or something. But AOT doesn't always get his practice in, right? So maybe Doglived can squeeze the series out regardless. Got a Larvosk into a pool, very similar build for our Zerg. And it looks like Doglived already changing stuff up. He's gone for a Lattice.
I was thinking it was going to be Grand Library because you see Gare banked up the gas. Yeah, I'm constantly perplexed by AOT's openings, by the way, because this game he didn't put the starting workers on gas, but he still got the Lavas first, so I guess it's like a slightly faster pool behind it, I don't know. Sim plus, I assume it's going to be like Amaranth? It's going to be interesting. I don't mind opening the Sim, but it is a little late. It's hard to get anything done, and AOT is not a Quaz lover. He definitely likes those Zephyrs, and the Sims do just get run down by them, more or less.
I don't know. His alternate player ID here is Art of Claws. So
all right, never mind. He made all the Zephyrs last game, so I'm like, surely, yes, that's all left. Well, you can come across and try and bully with the Sim, but that's the thing. He doesn't know what his opponent has. What's awkward here is you really want to make a Vassal to scout, but you really also want every possible unit you can have in the army. So, but he's not making anything. He's just going straight into the double Grand Library. And actually, this makes sense. If he really doesn't want to make a tier 1 structure, he just wants Grand Library, you might as well get Sims because they can potentially get a lot of bang for their buck. No, it's going to be a Golem. So it's going to be Heralds?
Fast Golem feels bad in this situation if you're going to get run down by an all-in, but that's not what's happening yet. AOT going for Vornath.
Amaranth. He's just going to be like, I am unkillable. Golems, Amaranths, and Sims.
And if you think of it, unless you get like Vornath double stack their armor rend on one target, the Quas are going to do nothing in this, so not really ideal. Absolutely. He's going to need to go into Hydrith very quickly here if he wants a chance.
Got a lot of gas, though. I'd like to see him do something with that. Now, the Vornath is coming up. I mean, a couple Nafs would handle these Sims pretty easily, right?
Yeah, and the Cantavis coming in behind it means that you could just sick out the Nafs onto it. Eventually, it would go down.
Okay, here's a question. If you cast Hallucinate onto your own Golems, are they actually weaker or are they stronger?
That's a fair question. They're going to take half damage from the secondary attack, so it
might
not be enough. Yeah, it might not be
Storm
enough. Storm
and hallucinate your own golems. All right, here comes the claws. They can do damage, but I feel like these units should be able to clean them up. Will he be able to run in and snipe a bunch of workers is the question. I don't think he should have run that Amaranth away, man. He could have just kept going.
Yeah, he's going after the tanky units, but he cannot penetrate the armor, dude.
Oh no, the Cantavis! You don't want to lose that. Oh, it did the Storm. Actually gets one somehow.
I feel like he could have just killed the Cantavis, but he goes after the Scribes instead.
Okay, there you go. He will lose a couple, but he'll be able to handle this.
He should be able to get maybe a 4th or a 5th Scribe even. Bit awkward on the decollision there.
He's going to get some more. This is a big deal, actually. Nice Storm. Going to handle that. All right, he's going to clean it up. So he loses quite a few workers there, unfortunately, but on the bright side, his army is much more powerful. As long as he pushes immediately, he's looking okay here. Is he going to do it? If he sits back, I feel like he's throwing the game, quite frankly. and it looks like he will. I feel like
four
Doglived
pairs of
not
gnats
really.
just got queued up as well. So
Yeah,
we're
he
gonna see a little bit of a
realizes
flyby.
this is a bunch of ground units plus the Cantavas. Like the
Well, you know,
Cantavas will not handle them on its
I
own.
kind of understand why Doglived is hanging back because he has no static defense coming, and his combat units, right, they're small enough in number that he needs to go across with the whole force. But if there's a bunch of Zeths waiting somewhere, they run in and just finish you off. That is pretty bad. He's going to move out anyway with the double Atreus.
Is this enough for 8 navs? Obviously, a storm could come down, but I feel like it's quite tricky to make that happen. Now,
They're all
as you say, there's no
too.
static defense. What if they just go kill the workers? That could just end the game. No idle with this, which would have been a key unit. Oh, he sees them, I think. He does see
What does
them.
he want? What does he want to do with this? Yeah, he's going to start cycling back up. Oh, he's canceling the attack entirely.
Anti-air. He has no anti-air. He can't do anything because he's making one Atreus at home, but that's not enough on its own. So he has to pull back. Oh, but the Navs also pull back. So who's really turning back? He's going to try and storm it, but this is very dicey. He's going to lose the Cantavas pretty much instantly. Oh, no, he's not.
What's he doing?
Oh!
AOT, what's going on?
Okay, now
What's happening here, dude?
Right? Oh my god, it's still alive. How is that Cantavas still alive?
Dude. There's no way it should have been able to, you know, so when you cancel the storm, there is a cooldown before you can attack with it again, right? It's like almost like an attack cooldown for a weapon. So, you know, there was an opportunity there for AOT to go after it. There's a cooldown in StarCraft 1 for between storms as well, if people don't know. It's a little bit shorter than the cooldown in Cosmonarchy when you can't fully cancel a storm, because it's more of a channel thing. But even still, like, that was an opportunity to snipe the Cantavas immediately. And usually AOT has the killer instinct to pick off individual units, so a bit uncharacteristic there.
Don't tell me he's going to turn his whole army back for this again.
What
are you doing, Doglived? Just go up the ramp. Okay, he's going to do it. Thank God. I was freaking out for a second there.
Yeah, he's got that M-ramp out.
Let's see if this M-ramp even dies. Yep. Okay, he gets one. He gets one. That's probably about what he's going to get.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, he's got no static defense. He's got a Zorka Shroud that's 80% complete. I mean, how is he going to possibly deal with this?
Quaz cannot deal with these units, let alone with the storm supporting. These are just like the anti-Quaz army. He's going to demolish everything.
Yeah, this is the art of how to kill the Quaz here out of Doglived. And
oh, the storm in the mineral line. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
Surely.
No, he doesn't even need it, he's saying. I refrain from storming civilians. Oh, no. Okay. Oh! 28 kills on that Cantavas. 3,000 damage. Single-handedly crushed this.
Yeah.
Even if Lickers hatch, what are you going to do now?
Well, yeah, they'll hatch. Well, it's not even Lakers, it's Zorius and Gorg. I mean, I don't even think they're going to do anything. All right, AOT fully out of the game at this point.
Gorg can go across and try and kill some workers, but then what? You know, you're not going to finish the game.
It's not going to change it over yet. Won't be enough. Won't be even close to enough. AOT down 0-2. Very blisteringly fast games here.
Yeah, well, this just shows that it's a double-edged sword when you're super aggressive, and AOT is definitely the most aggressive Zerg we have.
Which is very funny, because it will never not be funny to me. His name is Turtle.
I know. And he plays fairly turtly in Brood War, to be honest, so that's the funny thing to me.
Well, in Brood War, that's his home game, and in Cosmonarchy, he comes in and moonlights as a more aggro player. A Peruvian player is what they call him, which is funny, because now we have actual Peruvians, and none of them are Zerg, so... we can't really
aggressive? Who's Peruvian?
You remember Mr. XD Man. He's Peruvian.
Oh, of course. And he plays very Peruvian.
Yeah, that's right. And then obviously Sausage, who qualified in from Gauntlet Stage B through the lower bracket. Not very aggressively, though. He went Artisans. And then, you think about P-Sense, who's a Terran, didn't make it. Didn't sign up for Gauntlet Stage C either, unfortunately. SG, another Peruvian. Maybe he'll be able to make it, and he's in the lower bracket of this one. Anyway, that's the roster of Peruvians that actively play. I think maybe there's a couple others that don't participate in the tournaments, but that's it. Let's go to Game 3, because Doglived is now on the doorstep of the battlements. The man on your screen, Doglived, in the bottom left of Blackwater Bastion, is now up 2-0 over Art of Turtle, who is in the bottom right. We've got Japanese Violet against Dark Lavender once again, and I am looking forward to seeing what AOT's reaction is going to be, because going down 0-2 and not really having much of a look into it. I mean, you think about Brainstorm, he had the opportunity to maybe do something with the Zeths, but it didn't quite work out. I thought maybe he had actually spotted the Kabbalist in mid, but didn't quite see the Shimmer properly, because he didn't react, didn't make an Ovolith, of course. But Doglived has been tricky, and went for Lattice first into Grand Library. This time around, going to do something a bit different in Game 3. So I mean, we don't know. Maybe this is going to be gateway into Rogue Gallery again, like it was in Game 1. But Doglived could conceivably just do something completely different every game. And at that point, I mean, how does AOT respond to that? It's always kind of going to give you an option to potentially have a strategic edge, especially if AOT is starting to adjust based on what he's seen so far. What do you think, Nebline?
Well, that was a fast gateway and a fast second one. So I'm wondering, is he going to just send Legionnaires? You see him mining no gas? Is he just going to rush Legionnaires? And so far, AOT's going for the greedy pool timing. So it could be a thing.
Yeah, that's
now.
right.
I don't think he's going to get a second Lavos here. That'd be crazy. It looks like he's building up for the pool. And, of course, you have to find him. Third gate, I mean, he's definitely making Legionnaires.
Okay.
You can't tell me he's going to make a freaking Zealot out of this.
He is.
God damn it. God damn it.
Well, that's very funny. Yeah, I don't actually know if Doglived believes in the Legionnaire.
It's Hydra. Oh, this is worst case scenario for Zerg. 2 reasons. Not only is it going to take a lot longer to get units out, it's also the fact that you will have a very low unit count. So if Protoss can just get like a bunch of Drax out, it becomes kind of impossible to stop. Because you just, are bouncing back and forth. And when Zerg doesn't have overwhelming numbers, they can't handle that. Now, let's see what Doglived wants to go for. If it's like pure Zealot, you can handle that okay. But there's still going to be a bit of a window here where he can get in. But does he know where AOT is yet? I don't think he does.
Well, you can tell that there's some StarCraft 1 experience on display there for just a moment, because Doglived is actually managing to manually micro that Zealot around to get some kills, but get some hits on the Droleth, but he hasn't done it anymore. So maybe I spoke too soon. Fourth gateway.
Right, it's gonna be Zealot Ecclesiast, by the way, which is okay, but the Hydras can kite very effectively if you don't have a Hierophant at all. And once the Hydra count gets higher, they're also just very good against that. Now, it's still pretty dicey for AOT. He's going to be under the pump here. Izzy's coming out first.
Oh, he's going to take some damage. I feel like there's at least one worker kill that should be going down here in favor of
one Zealot, though. It's only one Zealot. I feel like if you micro well, yeah, he can just hold off like this. I think if both players play well, the one Zealot should not get a kill.
That did deny a lot of mining time, and specifically no Vespene for anything other than, he doesn't have any Vespene for a Hydra, right? So kind of factors in there, and he hasn't resetted his gas, so AOT, I mean, I don't know if that's intentional.
It's nice of him to turn back as well. Yeah. Good sort of presence there that he turns back. And now AOT making 5 Droleth. Well, if he can get away with this, he has all the economy he needs to hold these 4 gates. But can he?
Hold on.
Again,
I think the Azeri cores are just going to leave the building here and go straight for the worker line. This is kind of a cute move. We saw this from all the players to see this from. We saw this from Blade Hollow against Jimmy. So very different context.
Friends now. Yeah, he's got a nice block there. You can't let him in, though. I would like to see Warden go up just in case, because the Izzies can always run past you, right? But he's sort of got enough force to bully them back.
Yeah, that was really good.
This is where a Hierophant would be so good. Yeah. Against these early Hydra, like low Hydra count, a Hierophant is actually a really key unit, because if you pick off like one Zeph or one Quad, it's kind of like, okay, whatever. But one Hydra or one Izzy is a much bigger deal. So slowing them down and catching them is a big deal. Now, who goes for the attack? Good number of Zealots, very hard to deal with here, but the Izzies will do good splash. 2 Ecclesias, not really enough to deal with that, but so many more coming out. Would love to see some Dracodons made, because they're quite effective in these low unit count scenarios I was talking about, but he's going to come down here. I think he can pounce on this Protoss army. I mean, let's see. Oh yeah, he's going to decimate those Zealots.
Well, I don't know. I'm not so sure. The Ecclesia's coming in, and they're not being focused down. Where's the Hydra damage?
I was wrong. Oh my god.
I think they were split. They weren't focusing down individual Zealots.
And no kiting either. All right, now he's going to come up the ramp. It's still pretty dicey. There's a lot of Hydras here. Quite a few Ecclesias now getting in, though. He needs to deal with those Zero cores before it gets a lot of splash damage, but he's killing the Hydras one by one.
Oh my god, the Zealot's still staying alive. Okay, we got more Hydras hatching. This should be enough for AOT to hold, though.
Well, here he goes. Okay, they're starting to lose the Ecclesias, though, and that's the key thing. The Ecclesias can't get him diminished. He tries to jump on top, but there's nothing left. A few more units arrive in the building, but they're like, should we, shouldn't we? Let's just get a worker or two before we die. No, he's going to go for the units after all, but they're going to get absolutely smashed.
Kills one Hydra, he's going to lose pretty much everything here. I guess the one Azeri core will go down. That ends up being a much favored trade at the very end there for AOT, but, at the same time, forcing more combat units, forcing less Droleth.
Well, unfortunately, Doglived is not being macroing behind this. Look at his mineral count. It was 700 a minute ago. Could have had a Nexus coming or more production. Now he's just got this tiny little force, which might just be overwhelmed. I don't know. Can he actually hold here?
Well, the Zealots are going to stay alive for quite a bit.
Yeah. Sort of just enough to make Zergs think twice, but it's pretty dicey. On the bright side, I guess he can keep producing for a while with that bank. He's not going to worry about running out of money. Now Zerg's expanding. He still has to make something happen here. It's going to be hard to win the game with 4 gates once backs are out. All right, Grand Library's coming down now, so that's going to be his improvement here. I'm still worried if AOT can stabilize, just get to the back to lists, then he has everything he needs here.
Yeah, double Grand Library. No Zorkish Shroud on the way, so it most likely will end up being Bactylisks, but...
I love the scouting scribe just to see how many units were made, if there's like a big Hydra attack coming or something.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, oh wait, maybe it's a mistake. Oh no, he's just rallying them.
He's rallying a second one in there. Yeah, that's a bit weird.
He's like, okay, my bank is too high. How do we solve this problem? Well, if we don't mine anymore...
IoT will jump on that. He's getting his own expansion. I thought maybe Doglived was going for it. He's got the money, but he still hasn't dropped the Nexus.
He's saving for those Amaranths, man. A couple of Heralds would be huge here, too.
Feels like it's a big opportunity, yeah. Thinking about how reinforcing the shields would be, and a Bulwark on the ramp.
Yeah, he can't be defending his ramp, though, when Zerg has an expansion. He just, if he sits home, he is 100% going to lose here.
Is that a tell? Is he just going to not take the expand ever? Like...
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I really want to see him make... he does make Amaranths. It's a shame. I feel like if he made 2 Heralds and just went, he would have a good chance here. But now I feel like the game is slipping away. Zerg will get a Lakizalisk or 3 out pretty soon. And he'll just have too much stuff where Zealot Ecclesiast won't hack it. He needs to stop production. He wants to build a Nexus, by the way. He can't actually afford it if he keeps production up properly.
That's right. With 6 production structures so early in the game, it's an opportunity for sure. AOT mining from his natural now. Worker count north by 4 and rising ever so slightly as he's gone into full Hydra production. That bank will probably be used for Lakers. 3 Lakers.
Protoss can still make something happen here, though. Like, once the Lakers are out, it becomes very hard. But before that time, Protoss is looking very dangerous. He's showing his entire army to this Overleft, though.
The Overleft is indeed killed, and it's not really that important, but it could have been a drop, and it is an expenditure that AOT would rather not have gotten shellacked by.
You know what I kind of like here, though, is that Doglived is sort of like not putting pressure, so he's not showing that he hasn't expanded. And even if the Overleft came in, at least it would see the scribe like, oh, he's going to expand soon. But he really is just completely doubling down. Now, I think it might not work because Lakizalisk is the perfect counter to the Zealots. But hold on a minute, he's going to catch him out on the map. As long as he's not in a choke point, you can easily surround those Lakizalisks. And he really just has the superior army. Now, he's not coming in at a good angle, and you don't want to fight in a choke here.
Oh, that's
he does have to pull back from
forward.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to get back from those. But if he comes around from like the side and just has a big arc, he can easily crush this. That's so many Zealots.
Well, AOT has got 5 Lakers with this army. Is that 4? Only 4.
Oh,
and the storm has come out. Humongous storm value onto the Hydra, softening them all up.
Instantly.
Wow. Dude, that's it.
Storm.
Look at that. I mean, the Hydras, the Zealots, the Hierophant just getting everything. Look at that.
What is left? Yeah, that's the thing. If AOT was back in his choke, there's no way this could happen because all the Lakiz were just hitting.
That's right.
But AOT felt like it was his time to push. And I've got to say, you've got to give credit to Doglived for making him feel that way by just staying back timidly.
Yes.
Sort of dealing with the scouting over left. And now he's coming in here. What is there to defend? Lakiz there's some morphing, but is there time? A huge storm on those Hydras.
Oh, it even preempted the movement there. I love it. I love it.
Oh, the storm on the workers. It's getting his own Zealots, but they don't care.
No, they don't. They do not care. I mean, 25 and falling for the worker count. The lake is not even going to burrow. And that's it. GG.
Doglived battlements, dude.
Into the battlements instantly, it feels like. What a blazing fast set.
Crushed him.
That is wild. All right. Well, this is in stark contrast to our previous qualification set we did. Smarty over Fox 3-2. This time around, Doglived also the lower seed, but I think you could see very, cerebral player, right? The strategic layer there, very different. And I feel like that's where he shined massively in this series. Yeah,
I got to say again, that last game I feel like was very well done. Given that he, misstepped at the beginning, I feel like he really realized he was in a terrible situation. And I was looking at going like, oh, why is it expanding? He's so screwed. But he had the smarter play of doubling down and just being like, all right, here's my final chance. 50 Zealots, go. And it worked.
Yeah, wild scenes. Love to see it, though. I'm a big fan of how, in general, Doglived has all of those different strategies up his sleeve. And, I mean, the Night Fox was giving his analysis piece in the tournament section before the series was actually played. He said he would be interested in how the series went, and he didn't think Doglived was going to be able to take it out because he thought he would get too fancy and not just kind of double down on the Zealot Ecclesiast, which we kind of saw in Game 3 as the opener, but very quickly switched into Amaranths factoring in just kind of a scaled-up Zealot Ecclesiast almost with the one Hierophant.
Well, he got so much mileage off a single Centavis both times.
Right? I know, yeah. Really impressive stuff. So, hey.
It does make you wonder if AOT just committed and sniped it with the NAF, would it have been a different game?
Yeah, for Game 2. Yeah, absolutely. Could have been an option. Listen, I think AOT's not done yet. He goes down to the lower bracket. He's favored against whoever goes up against him. It could be, I think it's most likely going to be Grass Eater, ZVZ, to qualify him in. It's very similar to how it was, he fell to the Night Fox in the upper bracket of Gauntlet Stage, I believe it was Gauntlet Stage B, yeah, in Acropolis 2. And then he had to go to the lower bracket and defeated Cannoli, sending him to the last chance qualifier where he won over Smarty. So a little history lesson there for you. AOT is kind of familiar with his last chance to qualify coming up. And so I think he'll be fine. ZVZ, I still would favor him versus anybody who gets over there, even if it's not Grass. Could be SG as well. So we'll see. I think we'll see him in Battlements. It would be really weird if he didn't get there. But Doglived, congrats on making it in so handily. It didn't even look that difficult, despite, I think, some macro slip-ups, right? I would say that you look at him and you think about his strategic layer, he's definitely got some strats there. And so that almost makes me feel more excited about it, because if a player is playing on the strategic level super far and they just have to dial in their mechanics to a level I've already seen them achieve, which I have seen Doglived get to a better position when it comes to the money spending and reaction times and stuff, then I think actually as he practices himself back into form, and I've been seeing him in the voice channels a lot lately, so I know he's been active, we're going to see him be potentially quite a fearsome opponent going into Battlements. So yeah, I still expect to see both of these players in there, but that's sort of my thoughts on it.
Well, we got to see if he has more diversity than just like one base attacks. But if he does, I think he's showing a lot of sort of strength in matches. You know, he seems to be good in competition, which does make him seem like a very promising player.
I would have to agree with that one, Nebline. Thank you for joining me for the cast, and thanks to all of our viewers. Remember, you can donate to support the tournament and support the game over on the coffee page in the description and in the bottom right of your screen. And of course, we'll have more Cosmonarchy coverage here because the lower bracket awaits for some of our attention there. It will, of course, be the Night Fox favored to take over Jujic. And yeah, as mentioned, Art of Turtle favored to take it over Grass Eater. So those are our final qualification sets. So we'll see you guys for that action later on. GG's.